Hi guys, you're watching Romanian Culture Explained, and today I have a celebratory episode with 7 interesting things about Romania's great national holiday. And not only, because my first point is why celebrate national days at all. And the thing is, it's an important date in the history of the country, and we do want to remember time and time again. Each year, we want to commemorate that special day in our history. The reason for celebration is pretty common, and you will see on the Wikipedia map that I've brought on the screen that most countries actually have a very common reason for celebrating their national day, which is either an independence date, a unification, or a big revolution. Other reasons may entail a king or an emperor's birthday or their coronation date. And Spain, Portugal, and Ireland actually have very special and unique reasons for celebrating national days. But there are also countries that have no national day at all, which are UK and Denmark. Number two, this is not our first national day, and that's why I brought up the map previously because it's a huge crutch in explaining this. Actually, we have been all the colors on that map. We have changed the reason for our celebration and the date of our celebration 2 times. First of all, until the 10th of May 1877, Romania had no political voice. It was under the authority of the Ottoman Empire, and the Ottoman Empire also dictated everything that Romania did in external politics. However, during the independence war, Romania became, well, independent, and the National Day later commemorated the Independence Day. We became blue on the map of reasons, right? This was a great holiday. It was in the summer, it was nice, it was a big, big moment of celebration. But there was a problem, a tiny, tiny problem, because the same date coincided with 11 years before, again on the 10th of May, the first king of Romania, Carol I, arrived and assumed their position here. Now, the problem was that when we fell under the Iron Curtain, the monarchy was suppressed, and this particular national holiday was too associated with the monarchy and the king, and so it was a big no no for the communists. So the communist regime tried to change this, and they changed it to the 23rd of August. It was when Romania turned against the Axis powers. This was sold as the real Independence Day or perhaps a Revolution Day when the Allied armies brought independence to our country. During the communist regime, the 23rd of August was actually practiced with a lot of huge assemblies, choreographies, parades, odes to the communist dictator Ceausescu, and it was a huge, very communistic and kitschy way of doing things. However, in 1991, the revolution brought down Ceausescu and the Communist Party. Now, the 23rd of August had been polluted with communist meaning, and again, they had to change it. So they changed it, and the natural thing would have been, well, let's revert to May the 10th. But monarchy was also a big no no for the politicians back then who wanted to avoid any ideas of bringing back the monarchy, God forbid. And that is why they picked the 1st of December. Which brings me to number three. What do we celebrate on the 1st of December? Actually, we went green on that list of reasons and that map for national holidays. And we celebrate Romania's great unification on the 1st of December 1918. This was a post World War I resolution at Alba Iulia, which decided that Romania should encompass Transylvania as well. Now, at that time, many nations of Europe shaked off imperial powers and united themselves nationally. It's nothing too unique about Romania itself, but the date is somewhat controversial. First of all, because the principalities of Wallachia and Moldavia were already unified at that time. And actually, that's a funny story. I should tell it to you now. I don't know when I will get the chance otherwise. When Wallachia and Moldova unified, they actually picked the same leader and told the European powers to deal with it. It was not unconstitutional, it was not illegal, and then the European powers actually had to ratify it because that was it. Now, coming back to our story, so Wallachia and Moldavia were already unified, and Basarabia and Bukovina also joined that year in the winter, but still, on the 1st of December 1918, only Transylvania was added into the mix. It's true that at that time we were in the height of our territories in population. It was a great day for Romania and other countries everywhere to start over new, free from the empires that they belonged to. If you go to Romania, you will hear the terms Little Union and Great Union. Mica Unire, or the Little Union, refers to the unification of the two principalities, Wallachia and Moldova. And Marea Unire, or the Great Union, is what we celebrate on our National Day on the 1st of December. Number 4, the declaration at Alba Iulia was actually very modern. It promised full liberty and rights of representation for ethnic minorities, freedom of religious belief and practice, a pristine democratic system with equal rights to vote for people of both sexes over the age of 21. It also promised the complete freedom of the press, an agricultural reform to ensure that peasants have their own land, and support for industrial workers, quote unquote, similar to what countries in the West have done. It also saluted the peoples of Basarabia and Bukovina who joined the Union prior, and saluted the liberty of other peoples previously under Austro-Hungarian rule, Czechoslovakians, Austrians, Germans, Yugoslavic peoples, Polish and Ruthenian, and expressed support for their newfound freedom. And this was great because we were all in the same sentiment of finally starting our natural history and the history of our people as a nation and as a state. 5. Politics. Some people are actually upset we celebrate this. I've already said that many independent countries took off from imperial power after World War I, and the status of this was confirmed by the Treaty of Trianon. The outcome, however, was not appreciated by everyone. Hungary lost a lot of potential territories when Transylvania joined the Romanian Union, and it had other losses too, as dictated by the treaty. Diplomatic relations between Hungary and Romania are somewhat tense regarding this celebration, and there have been instances of people harboring mourning flags or saying that the celebration is unfair or insensitive. There's also a point about not respecting the rights of minorities fully, as the Alba Iulia Declaration promised. So, why are you celebrating something that you haven't fully done? But even between Romanian people, some people object to the fact that only Transylvania was joined on the exact 1st of December, while Basarabia and Bukovina joined on earlier dates. So it might be unfair to the peoples of those regions. Other people complain even about the cold, that it's too cold to have a national holiday in December. And also, there are some people who won't agree with everything, who won't agree with our national day. But first of all, you can't draw the borders in an ethnically precise way, and you can't please everyone. So the date of celebration is probably not going to change anytime soon. Number 6, the reason for celebration, it's not written anywhere. The celebration itself, the National Day, was declared in 1990 using a law, but it was never justified. We just assume this is it. Number 7, St. Andrew's and the mini holidays. In 2012, the day of 30th November, one day before our National Day, was declared a bank holiday celebrating Romania's patron saint, Saint Andrew. Fun thing is, Saint Andrew is also the patron saint of Scotland. And Scotland, although it's not an independent nation, as I understand it, Saint Andrew is their closest thing to a national day. But why am I talking about another day altogether? Well, you will see an interesting cultural phenomenon in Romania, where bank holidays are often set up as blocks, one after the other. And the reason for this is to give people continuous time off, to offer them mini holidays. And it's especially great when this comes before or after a weekend, and then the people get around 3 or 4 days of leisure time. And it's a good opportunity to take 4 days to take a trip, do some quality R&R. Well, with COVID, it means just a bit of R&R. My personal National Day tradition was to take my kid to see the military parade at Alba Iulia. There would also be folk dances, concerts, exhibitions, fireworks, Romanian flags everywhere. It's a very beautiful celebration, and we'll see how we adjust this year. My mother will probably display my grandfather's military flag. As always, happy 1st of December, everyone, and remember to think about what it took to get here.